What's going on, everybody? Wilson here, your spiritual hype man, and I'm super excited to be back. And I'm super excited this week because there's so many things going on personally, introspectively within what's happening. And I have a couple of things that I definitely want to bring into perspective. But again, remember, it's all the thoughts in our head. I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, just remember it is just the thoughts in our head, what we're thinking about, and then those thoughts, remember, create and influence thoughts, emotions, actions, and ultimately that drives an emotion. That our thoughts drive an emotion. That emotion then drives an action, a decision, sometimes a reaction, and that gets us to these outcomes that we may not be happy with, and that we're looking to change. We're looking to facilitate some sort of change, some sort of way in our lives. And so this really is. Again, the podcast is here when you need it. This is here when you need it. Your spiritual hype man is here when you need it. And it's just a place that you can come back when you're not feeling so great, or you just need to hear something, maybe get a little perspective on what's happening right now within my life, our lives, how it relates, and then how you can use what I've learned and what we've learned throughout the podcast with other guests when it comes to morning routines, mindset, changing the things that we want to change about ourselves. Everyone's got their own chapter. Everyone's got their own book. And this is going to be a good medium to be able to get that to other people that need it. And if you are not feeling good, just remember it is just our thoughts in our head. We just need to ask ourselves different questions. Identify first, why am I feeling this way? What are some questions that you can ask yourself? What's something that you can prompt yourself to stop thinking about that, or even give yourself a macro level of perspective and ask yourself, is this really going to be worth feeling this way in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, etc. You can always biohack also with doing something, physical, putting some music, doing some jumping jacks, and start really feeling great. Biohacking your physical to get your mental feeling great as well. So if you're not feeling great, go do that right now. Take a few minutes. Let's go crush it. If you're feeling great, I'm super excited for you as well. Let's see. Super excited for you as well. And that is it. So let's start it off with this. If you did not listen to the last podcast, I had Patti on there, and we had talked about certain things, including the how do you want to show up for success, train for success mindset, as well as how she was feeling about her journey and all these other things. And she, ended up sharing a couple of things in terms of her perspective of how she felt, how she's feeling now, and moving forward in terms of her weight and what she's got moving forward. Now, I most of the time re-listen to the podcast because obviously I like to hear myself talk. No, that's not it. But I like to listen, and then I also like to figure out how I can either be better at what I'm doing, right? So this reflection moments on things, and I think reflection is super important. That's what I want to speak on this podcast. Is being able to, one, go back, look at the work that you've done, or look at the, fill in the vocabulary, or look at the actions that you made, look at the decision that you made, and be able to reflect in a way that you get something from it that you can grow from it, right? So ultimately, when I listened to the podcast last few days, I went and listened to the previous podcast where Patty's talking about her weight. We're both on it. It was impromptu, so audio was a little which is something, in terms of production, I want to make sure that audio sounds really good. So there's no I think that's what they said or something. So that's one. Okay. So I know that for the future, we'll make sure that we have proper audio for both speakers. Not that we don't know or not we didn't, but it was sort of impromptu and we just did it. So hopefully that wasn't a big issue for everybody. And if it is, I'm sorry, but we'll get better at it. The second thing is, until you hear yourself or you see yourself in I guess interacting with people, and in this particular case, interacting with my other half, and I was 100% me, right? Like I like just because the microphone was on or this is happening, I wasn't different from what I was, who I was, right? Or what the relationship is with Patti. And so one thing that I reflected on, if you did not listen to it, go back and listen to it if you want, or if you did listen to it, you can probably hear it too now that I'm saying it. I think there was moments of me wanting to get her to feel a certain way, and I just kind of was very abrasive, or if the word is just super energized in a way to get her to fucking feel the way or listen to the way what I'm trying to connect these dots for her. And again, my intention is always a good intention. Like there isn't ill will or negative intention in terms of what I'm doing. But I've realized that like the manner that I go and I approach Patti, or how I get excited about certain things, and the way that I like kind of push it on Patti, for lack of better vocabulary, it got me to think about. It just got me to think about that. It got me to like reflect on my point and ask myself like, is that how I interact, and is that how I engage in terms of certain conversation, especially around let's go get things done and let's crush it, or continue your weight loss program or your journey, etc. It took me back a little bit to figure out, or to be more conscious about identifying how I'm interacting with her and other people, right? Because there's a certain part of me that is excited, that spiritual hype man that wants to get you moving and grooving. And I just want you to see the connections. I want you to understand like my way of thinking. And and again, and I say my way because it is my way of thinking. I'm very logical when it comes to most things, but I can be very emotional and then also be very reactive in certain situations. More often than not back in the past than I am now. But again, listening to it and reflecting on it has given me that opportunity to even be more acute or more aware of these situations that Patti and I get into, and how I approach the way that I say things, or my level of energy towards it, or towards her and towards the subject. And so I think, again, listening again, I think there needs to be a moment for me to be okay, to be excited, be okay to be, to know that what I'm thinking, or how I want to propose this thought, emotion, collective, and then voice it in terms of some sort of vocabulary is a good thing, because the intention is always good. But really asking myself, how do I approach the individual that's in front of me, so I'm not overbearing, or I'm not at a point where it just shuts them off and it gets them equally away from the concept that's going to do well for them anyway. So that was something that I realized listening to that. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it. And I actually had that conversation. We had the conversation in the car just yesterday about what this was, about what the understanding of re-listening to that, and then having that aha moment, or that point of perspective. So again, if whether you're dealing with it, right now, or you're dealing with somebody, or maybe that person is you, or vice versa, whoever you are in that situation, I think when you boil it down to, it's one, being able to reflect on your own doing, right? Reflect on what you're doing, how you're feeling. And then if you have a medium, if you have a way to record yourself, or just get feedback and be okay with open and honest communication from whether it's your other half or somebody else, whether it is a therapist or a third party medium, somebody that like sees you outside of your own perspective. And it's like business too. It's like when you're in your own business, or, your own job or your own title, you're very, I don't want to say close-minded, but you only see this, right? You only see a small portion of it until you sort of step back, or you have somebody come in like a consultant or somebody else, or your spiritual hype man, to give you this perspective, right? But the spiritual hype man also needs that perspective. And so I would say reflection is important, being open to getting, feedback, and then analyzing that feedback through your thoughts and your ability to be logical about what you're getting back. And then not being afraid to communicate that with your partner, or your other half, or your employee, or, fill in the blank in terms of that other person that you are in a situation with, and also AKA relationship with. And I think it's super important. I'm going to continue being conscious of it. We're super excited because there's, things that are happening, and we're just building, and it's been great. So we're on this go mode. But again, I'm making sure that like I'm conscious of taking a breath, reflecting, being open to feedback, and then doing an awesome thing for other people while, doing the same thing for me, and then living those truths. So I wish you the best today. I hope you're crushing it. I hope you're, 2024, you're excited. And if you're not, just keep going, keep going, fall in line, not fall in line, but fall back on your support group. build a support group. We're here for you. I'm here for you. And if you ever need us, we're here. The Nothing Changes Until You Do podcast, the Nothing Changes Until You Do community, and everybody that has been listening, watching, commenting, I appreciate you because that makes me feel good, and it makes everybody else around us feel good because we know that this is going to be something that when you need it, we're here. Okay? So homies, keep crushing it. Have a great day. Don't forget to reflect. Give yourself some time. Be open to some creative feedback and keep crushing it. All right? Love you guys lots. We'll see you guys on the next one. Keep crushing it. And don't forget, nothing changes until you do. Peace.